I think for me, that decision is, it might like shock you guys because it's what you guys know me for. All right, guys. So, little sit-down video today with Dorian. Kind of have my perspective, his perspective. I kind of have an announcement for you guys, and it's been over a week that I made a decision. The decision was made obviously from me, but also with Dorian. Kind of like, as we were talking, I decided to kind of take a step away from competing. And I think it's something that I've been feeling for a little while, even since New York, kind of just seeing how the direction of figure, where it's going. And I'm saying that with a lot of admiration for figure, and I love figure. But there was just a lot of things that was making me doubt even going into another show. And it's funny because I was in a good place. We're 5 weeks out, prep was going great. I was in a better place, but there was always like all those little doubts. And I think it was a lot of question that I can like ask myself and came to that conclusion. So it's kind of what I want to share with you guys today. And I think for me, that decision is, it might like shock you guys because it's what you guys know me for, and that's what I dedicated my the last year of my life for. But it's actually a very, very exciting decision for me and what I can do in the future. So it's kind of, I want to dive a little bit deeper into that, just to kind of explain a little bit more my decision and what's I want to do going forward with that. So
yeah, I think me and Val, we trained last week, and then we ended up getting in conversation a little bit. And I know a friend of ours, Quentin, had asked me a question before about, if Valerie ever thought about another division. And so, it got me thinking a little bit, and then it sparked a conversation between me and Val. And something that sort of like stood out to me was just like seeing Val, everything she's been going through. She achieved a lot of success at a very young age. It was like, what's next? What's the goal? Are you enjoying this process? Or are you just simply chasing the next show? Because when you look at what Val accomplished in a short period of time, she's been in this every year competing. She, won a pro show. Won a pro card, pro show, been to the Olympia, right? So those are all amazing accomplishments. And obviously she had, plans to win another pro show, get back to the Olympia. But just seeing the way the division has changed, last year she'd taken off to just focus on, some personal things. And between 2022 and this year, just seeing the difference in the division, when Val competed in 2022 versus this year, the division has evolved right now. And, it's something that, Val has to look at that and evaluate it and pivot, make some adjustments, training, supplementation, everything. And, so that just struck our conversation to be like, hey, is this something that your heart and soul is into right now? Like, how are you feeling? And then immediately when we started having the conversation, I could see that there was some doubt, some question marks. She's been doing this for a very long period of time, year after year, year after year. And I get it because like I've coached so many competitors. I've been in this for 20 years. And to be the best of the best, you have to be like 100% all in. And I think Val's done that for a long time now. But from my perspective, looking back on myself or other athletes, when you are as young as Val is, I know it's the competitor's mindset to always be looking at the next show, but also realizing like you are super young, you can take time off. You don't need to always use the next show to motivate you. I think a lot of people fall into this trap. Certain people where it's like, there's a lot of unhealthy eating habits, lifestyle that comes from competing because we deprive ourselves for so long, diet so hard, then the show's over and we end up, eating too much food, binging, metabolic damage, we're uncomfortable with ourselves majority of the year, and then we're like, okay, well, you know what, I'm gonna keep eating and I'm gonna start the diet this date, and the next show is what gets us in shape again. So what ends up happening is a lot of times people are in shape for like a very small percentage of the year, and the rest of the year they're not in shape, they don't feel good, So, you know, I think when I was talking with Val just about like her goals and where she's at in life, one of my questions to her was like, have you ever thought about just like not using a show as like your goal or like your target, and just like living a really healthy lifestyle? Like Val loves training. She loves eating good. She loves, you know, she loves the lifestyle that require, you know, people do to compete. But like, you don't need a show to do that. And that's not to say that the stage is always going to be there. So just remove the expectation of a show, live a balanced lifestyle, enjoy training, you know, and who knows, like maybe next year you're 10 weeks out from a show and you're in great shape, you have a great lifestyle, and you want to jump into a show, but just remove that pressure and just enjoy life a little bit, you know, like all through your 20s, she's, you know, never traveled, never like really done too much outside of like eat, sleep, train. And I think like she's very young and has a lot of time, so there's nothing wrong with just taking a step back. And you know, when we had this conversation, I think a lot of competitors will be like, they immediately think like retire, right? Or they think like, oh, I'm done competing. And it's like, it's so extreme. It's like, you don't have to be done competing, you don't have to retire, just take some time off for you, you know, just get back to loving the process of training and nutrition and just living life. And the competition's always there, you know, especially when you love this lifestyle. It's like she's not going to be too far off from, you know, from getting back on stage. And I think this is something really cool because a lot of you guys that follow Val, you know, she can be an example and for live a healthy lifestyle, live an active lifestyle, be fit, be strong, all these things, you know, she can still share with people, like even like traveling and, you know, like how cool would it be to see Val traveling and still like sharing how she's staying in shape and how she's getting to the gym, the lifestyle. So I think there's a lot more, you know, with Val's following and all you guys that support her. I think she can really, there's a cool opportunity here that's that exists, you know, outside of like just the competition stage.
Yeah, and for me, it's like a lot of people follow me and like just support me as like a competitor, but I think it's a place of like, I cannot base my identity off that. And I also want to be, I want to be able to like live my life a little bit. And for me, it's actually, I feel like I don't want to get to a place I resent it, because I feel like last year what happened, it put me such in a bad place that this year I was happy to do New York and like, I was happy to get back on stage, but I would be like lying if I would say that I was like fulfilled and like my like whole heart was like fully in it. And for me, it's like I never want to do that just because everyone's doing it. I also don't want to just do something if it's not my timing. And I think right now my timing is I need to take a step back and enjoy my training, enjoying just like not putting so much pressure on like being perfect every day, and creating like a balance. Because if you guys know me too, I've been struggling with obviously gaining weight, losing weight, like getting in shape, like just like being able to get in shape because I'm competing. And for me to like transition to lifestyle for at least until my heart says otherwise, I think it's going to be a very cool thing for me to share with you guys, and just helping a lot of girls or even guys that like doesn't really feel like competing, or they don't really like it, but they do it because they feel like they have to do it to be included or to fit in, or because that's the cool thing to do. So I kind of want to reverse the role here and just like show that like you can be on the other side, even if people look up to you as like a competitor. And like, it's a scary step for me to take, and I don't really care, to be honest, what people think. And if people wants to follow me and just follow me for me, that's what I love. And I think I'm in a place like I love helping people, and I want to do more of that. And when I'm competing, I'm so focused on myself. So for me, it's like very positive, and I'm excited to like share that with you guys. But also like, I've been in a place I feel like I'm always overthinking, stress, and I can't even be like fully present with like my friends when I go out or do things, or like even with my parents. And those things are very important. And asking me like those questions of like, when's the last time I travel for fun? Like never. Like when, like even like healthy relationship, like how do you meet people if like all you do is like literally being in my room Saturday, Sunday doing nothing? So it was a lot of things, and I had to like understand like, okay, is my passion for the sports and what I want to do outweighs all those other things that I just listed. And also like I said, where the figure is going. it's not technically the place I want to go for myself, and I need to just be like okay with that. So yeah, I it's gonna be a fun like journey. I can like share more, like you guys can like tell me what you guys want to see, but I think it's a decision I had to like make for myself, and just be like, I'm very at peace with it. I'm very excited, and yeah.
Yeah, I think a big thing that Val touched on there was like, I think a lot of competitors fall into this category where it's like they feel like their self-worth, and like whether it's for sponsors, whether it's for fans, whatever the reason is, they feel like they have to compete to stay relevant, for people to like them, whatever the reason is. Where I think when you get to a certain point where like Val has all these accomplishments, like we talked about, she's been to the Olympia, she's been one of the best in the world. So I think she has that opportunity where she already has that, and she can like pivot and just like share her life with you guys outside of competing. And you know, and I know it's scary, right? I know that probably went through your head when you were probably like, oh my gosh, but if I don't compete, what am I going to do? Like, my YouTube, like my fans. But it's like, you don't need the stage to still share your lifestyle with your fans, right?
Yeah.
And you know, we referenced a whole bunch of other girls in the industry that are doing that, right? That are like still on Instagram and still share so much, help reach so many women and help so many women. And they're not competing.
Yeah.
So I think Val has that opportunity to do just that. So it's pretty exciting. And that's not to say that she's never going to compete again. Like, you know, you have to follow your heart. Like, maybe she takes a step back. And I told her, I was like, maybe it can go any way. You could like take a step back and be like, oh my gosh, I actually miss that. Like, I miss prep so much and I want to do it again. Or you could take a step back and be like, oh my gosh, I love my life. I have a balanced life. I love this lifestyle. I have this new like path and I'm really loving it. And you know, maybe that's your direction. And maybe you do both. You don't know, because all she's done for the last, how many years has it been?
First show was like 2015, and then other than that, like every year since 2018, pretty much.
That's like 9 years almost, so back to back to back to back. So that's all she knows, right? And that's all she shared with you guys. And this is going to be a whole nother chapter and a whole other road she's going down that she's going to be able to experience and share with you guys.
Yeah.
So it's pretty exciting.
And then it's like, I can't remember what to say.
No, but it's exciting, right? Because there's so many question marks. There's so many like it's. But yeah, I think it's
like we like as a competitor, obviously, like when you're into bodybuilding for so long, and all the people, you know, all the community that's like they're hardcore like bodybuilding, and to take a step away from that, you're kind of like, oh, okay, like what does that mean about me? It's like,
what are people gonna think?
Yeah, like those questions goes through your head of like, okay, like am I good enough? Like, and it's like it's fine if like you just need to like follow like what you like your heart, but like it doesn't mean like I love bodybuilding, and that's always going to be part of me. But I think like when you look back, what I went through last year, gaining so much weight, like losing myself so much, and like I think when you look back to that, it's like, okay, like those moments, like it's like God preparing you for the next chapter of your life, and like I can just see now it's like that happened to like prepare me for like now, because now I'm ready to like step away from bodybuilding for a while like being like feeling confident that like that's my lifestyle and I can stay in shape, and I'm not gonna get back there because it feels different now, and like I've learned so much from it. So yeah, I think everything happens for a reason, and yeah, I'm just very excited for what's to come. So
yeah, it's very exciting.
So yeah, it was just yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys, and like I appreciate you guys for everyone who's been following me since I started competing, starting like social media, and like I couldn't be more like happy with like all your love and support. But I'm also excited for you guys to like be excited with me for like the next journey, and like kind of have you guys following along. So